This three-part process to manifest your dream body is not common fitness knowledge or advice, but if you follow it, you will get uncommon fitness results. So contrary to what everyone else says, you don't actually need more willpower. What you need is a body that feels safe to change. A body that feels safe to release that extra weight that it's holding on to. Because when your nervous system is regulated, discipline isn't something you have to force. It becomes automatic. It becomes who you just naturally are. And after struggling for a very long time to figure this out, I'm not saying weeks, I mean years of trial and error, starting this new process, stopping it, starting this process, failing, starting another process. I tried keto and gained more fat because I did not stay under the 50 grams of carbs a day. So my body did not transition into using fat as fuel. So I just gained more weight. I tried vegetarian, but I just felt weak all the time and I felt like I wasn't building enough muscle without drinking too much synthetic protein. And I also tried extreme heavy lifting to try to burn fat and gain more muscle, but I ended up just getting bulkier. I tried just the subconscious reprogramming route of visualization, reprogramming my beliefs, but since my body wasn't regulated, it did not feel safe to change. I've even tried fasting, but I would get so hangry in the mornings and just realized it was not for me. So hear me out when I share this process with you because it took me a lot of time and effort to figure it out, and I don't want you to have to go through all of the struggle that I went to. Before I share it, let me give you a little more backstory. So a little over a year and a half ago, I had a cosmetic surgery and I got so inflamed, like unbelievably puffy. And throughout the process of not being able to work out for like 3 months, I literally became basically depressed. I couldn't work out, and I've always been fit and active, so I was not okay. And I was also emotionally eating because I was down. So I was in this vicious cycle of not exercising, eating too much, gaining weight, having an identity crisis because I've always been that fit person. So when I gained 13 pounds, it was a bit much for me to take in. So once I was able to work out again, I was like, okay, I'm just going to work out extra hard. I'm just going to eat a lot less and I'm going to work super hard to lose this weight. So I started to work out more and I tried my best to eat less, but since I wasn't eating enough early in the day, by nighttime I was having these extreme cravings and I would binge eat, and it was a very bad, vicious cycle. I was so frustrated. This was almost a year after my surgery, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I got to do something different because obviously what I used to do is not working, which is just eat healthy, work out, simple. So I did some more research and I discovered that since I was so stressed out at my job at the time, as well as my identity crisis, my cortisol was so high that my body was holding on to that inflammation and that extra fat as a form of protection. So I was over here being so hard on my body, being upset with it, like I was low-key criticizing myself all the time, calling myself fat, like loser, like what the heck, like you're supposed to be this fit, inspirational person and you're over here 13 pounds heavier. But when I came to the realization that my body was just trying to protect me, everything clicked. I started to have much more like compassion for myself and realized, okay, well, now I know. Now I know that I need to lower this cortisol any way I possibly can so my body can release this inflammation and finally release these extra 13 pounds. Because summer was coming up and I was still wearing sweaters and long sleeve shirts. If you look at my Instagram, you could tell last winter I didn't really post much, and when I did, I was always in a sweater or a long sleeve or sucking it in. I have really strong abdominal muscles, so even with extra body fat, I could literally like flex really hard and you could kind of see them a little bit. So I was able to deceive everyone because I was ashamed. I was so ashamed that I let myself get to that place, and I didn't want to, open up and share with people because, again, I was supposed to be that fit person, and I kind of felt like, okay, what am I good for now? Once I discovered that the inflammation is not budging because my cortisol was so high, I realized I cannot continue to try to force these results by doing more cardio and trying to eat less and then binge at night, because that is just dysregulating my nervous system even more, which is going to raise my cortisol even more. So I knew that I had to lower my cortisol and regulate my nervous system so I could finally release the extra 13 pounds. Then it immediately came to me, I'm an NLP and EFT practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming and emotional freedom techniques. Why am I not using these practices that help regulate your nervous system? In a clinical study, emotional freedom techniques was proven to decrease anxiety by 58%, depression by 48%, and to lower cortisol up to 43%. I was already doing the subconscious reprogramming because I thought to myself, well, our beliefs create our reality, so maybe I just don't believe that I could lose the weight. So I started to obsessively listen to affirmations, subliminals, nighttime sleep hypnosis, and I just was like, okay, I just need to reprogram my beliefs to change my behavior, because this is what has always worked for me. A little subconscious reprogramming, a little exercise, a little diet, that's all you need. Once I discovered that my cortisol was at the root of everything and that I needed to regulate my nervous system, it all clicked for me. I was like, okay, well, this makes sense. You have to do all three. You have to reprogram your mind, you need to regulate your nervous system, and you need to reshape your body through strength training, in addition to obviously eating healthy and exercise. So then I thought, why has no one else created a framework like this? So I took the initiative and created one myself. It's called the Dream Body Framework, where you simply reprogram your mind, regulate your nervous system, and reshape your body through whole foods and strength training. This is the process that you need to follow if you want to manifest your dream body. I'm telling you, I'm going to explain each aspect a little more, as well as I'm going to give you some statistics and studies that prove that this process works. So starting with reprogramming your mind, this is so vital because, like I was saying, your beliefs dictate your behavior, which creates your circumstances. If you don't exercise and eat healthy, you're going to be out of shape. And if you have the belief system that you're not the type of person, you don't have the identity, it's not easy for you to choose healthy options and to exercise effortlessly, you're going to have a more difficult time than the person who has the belief system, the identity that, oh, it's easy for me to eat healthy. It's so easy for me to exercise. I just do it automatically. It's who I am. By reprogramming your mind, you literally can implant the belief in your mind for you to genuinely believe that it's easy for you to eat healthy. It's easy for you to be consistent at the gym. You're rewriting the internal narrative. So when you get home from work, you just automatically go to the gym. Or you automatically wake up a little earlier to go to the gym. You don't have to have that constant battle in your mind. This is the power of reprogramming your mind. Scripting, visualization, or mental rehearsal, because you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe that you are. In a 1992 study at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation, research found that people who mentally practiced lifting weights increased their strength by 13.5% without ever touching a dumbbell. So I don't want to hear anything about how visualization or mental rehearsal does not work, because it has been proven through multiple studies. There's also research that shows that your brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. So if you imagine something enough times, your brain is going to think that it's natural. It's going to be fully convinced that that is your reality. By repetitively rehearsing yourself choosing the healthy option effortlessly. Going to the gym effortlessly, feeling so confident in yourself. It's going to become your new normal. The only reason you are currently the way you are is because you repetitively thought of your current actions. You repetitively think about how it's difficult for you to choose the healthy option, how it's difficult for you to go to the gym. So it is. Repetition is the mother of all mastery. You can literally become anyone that you want. You are that powerful. You are the operant power of your entire reality. And you do so through the power of your subconscious mind, through repetition. The only hard part about repetition is you have to consciously remind yourself. That's why it's a lot easier if you have like accountability and people to support you. And our society is so programmed through repetition to seek instant gratification that unless you have accountability, unless you have support, reminding you, helping you stay consciously aware to keep you accountable to do your practices daily, you're most likely not going to repeat what is necessary long enough for it to become your new normal. So that's reprogramming your mind. Now, the second part of the process is going to be regulating your nervous system. No one talks about regulating your nervous system in the fitness world. If they had, I would have heard about it a long time ago, and I would have saved myself a lot of time. But when you create safety within your body, you allow your body to feel more comfortable. You expand your comfort zone and allow yourself to step into these new behaviors without self-sabotage. Because if you attempt to take on a new behavior, a new way of being, and it's unfamiliar to your brain, even if it's healthy for you, since it's unfamiliar, your brain and body are going to categorize that as unsafe. So it will do anything in its power to sabotage you. It literally will implant doubtful thoughts in your mind and literally will not open your awareness to certain opportunities. Let's say, for example, a brand new gym opens up around the corner and there's this amazing sale that you could work out for $10 a month. Your brain will literally sabotage you by not allowing you to perceive that new gym. So this is why you need support and accountability to help you become aware of what you don't know, because you don't know what you don't know. Once I started to heal my nervous system, started to feel more safe and lowered my cortisol, that is when pounds just melted off of my body. I had this really stubborn, annoying fat on my lower abdomen. And I was working out so hard. I was doing so much cardio. I was literally on the incline treadmill up to an hour, multiple times a week. And I still had that stubborn lower body fat. Once I started to create safety within my body released that extra weight. And remember, your body's holding on to that weight because it thinks it's protecting you. We have not evolved as fast as society. So our body, when it's in fight or flight and your cortisol's high, your adrenaline's high, it's like we are running from a saber-toothed tiger. So I'm going to save some body fat just in case we need to hide in a cave and don't have access to food for a while. That is literally what your body is thinking in that moment. So this is why you need to lower that cortisol. Once you do, your body's going to put more energy towards digestion, rest, cellular repair. This is why they say the parasympathetic, which is the positive side of your nervous system, is the rest and digest. And then the sympathetic is the fight, flight, freeze or fawn. As well as when my cortisol lowered, my cravings lowered and I stopped binge eating. Because I was never really a binge eater. Like, it wasn't really a thing for me. So when I started to like binge eat at night, it was weird. That was part of my identity crisis, because like I didn't recognize myself. Like, it was a weird time. One of my favorite ways to regulate my nervous system was emotional freedom techniques. Although I've been certified for years, I never really used it because I thought, that's not me, I don't need to use that. But turns out I really needed to use it. I had so much fear and shame in my body that I needed to release, that I needed to let go along with that extra weight. Because emotional freedom techniques, you tap on specific points on your face and your upper body, and you signal to your amygdala, which is the fear center in your brain, that you're safe. It's okay. You're not running from a saber-toothed tiger. You are okay. You can go into rest and digest, and you could release that fear. You could release that extra body fat. You're just sending calm signals to your body. In one study, just a single session of EFT was shown to lower cortisol levels by up to 43%. And I'll link all of these studies below so you could check them out yourself. And yes, it looks weird. I'll post sessions online and I'll get some people, saying how it looks weird and all that, but I don't care. I literally could care less because there's no fear and shame in my body holding me back. I do not care. I know how powerful these practices are, so I'm going to shout them from the rooftops no matter how silly I look. Because I know that if people started to implement these practices, that they would see so much change in their life. They would literally see their body transform before their eyes. And then, of course, there's the action aspect. Reshaping, aligning your energy, your actions with your future self. I found to be the most beneficial, especially for women, I can't speak for men, is moderate to heavy weight on the lower body. Not too heavy though, and lighter weight, higher reps, upper body, strength training, as well as home workouts and a lot of walking, as well as a whole food diet approach. I went through a lot of struggle to figure this out for you guys. I know it sounds simple. It's annoying that when all else fails, it's typically the simple answer, Occam's razor. It's always the simplest answer. Most likely. I would try every single diet. Tried keto, got fatter. Vegetarian, lost muscle. Tried to fast, got hangry. Once I found Eddie Abu's diet and the whole food approach, 1 to 3 ingredients, 90% of the time, your body will transform. Mid to high healthy fats and emphasis on high protein and low carb. So this is low carb, such as pasta, bread, all of that. No processed food, obviously. And this part was very difficult for me. I know it's going to be hard for a lot of people, but it's low sugar. You can have carbs like sweet potato and berries in moderation, and you could have honey in moderation for your sugar. But to be real, you're going to have to lower that sugar. You're going to have to skip the mashed potatoes, and it's going to be hard at first, but remember, we're just wired for instant gratification. We have to reprogram ourselves to seek delayed gratification. It's hard at first, but the payoff is so much more rewarding. You'll immediately eat that baked potato, but think about it, how do you feel an hour later? When you eat that baked potato, an hour later, your body is going to turn that into sugar. Your blood sugar is going to spike, crash, your body releases insulin, and then your body is going to release more ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone. But if you keep your blood sugar balanced and don't have those crazy dips, your body's not going to release more of that ghrelin. So you're going to be satiated, especially if you're eating a lot of protein. You're going to be satiated for much longer. So that means no binge eating. That means no excessive eating. So you're able to stay in a calorie deficit and become shredded. It's very simple science. As well as this diet is going to give you so much mental clarity. Your energy is going to spike. You're going to feel so motivated and just balanced. Life is going to be a lot better. You're going to get rid of that brain fog. You're going to stop being lethargic all day long, because I don't know if anyone told you that is not normal. You're not supposed to be lethargic all day. You're supposed to have energy to be able to do the things that you love on top of whatever it is you do for work. You should be able to exercise 20 to 60 minutes every single day. When your mind is in alignment and you're reprogramming yourself to be that person who already has your dream body, who has that belief system, who already identifies as that person, who has the regulated body that is able to expand and to step into that role without being extremely fearful and self-sabotaging the progress. As well as taking the aligned action, which is made a lot easier with the reprogramming and the regulating. And stepping into the identity, acting as if you're already that person. That is when you're going to create those uncommon results in an exceptionally fast time. And this is exactly what I teach in my Dream Body Accelerator. It's a 21-day experience to reprogram your mind, regulate your nervous system, and reshape your body from the inside out. It is only for women. We start July 1st, and I would love to have you inside. Provide the tools required to reprogram your mind, to reprogram your self-concept, to regulate your nervous system. And these tools are all science-backed. These are not just woo-woo magical tools. As well as a fitness guide, a strength training gym guide. And then I thought to myself, there's going to be women out there who say, I don't have time, which is an old limiting belief, but we'll get there down the road. So I went out of my way to create a home workout guide as well. So these workouts will be suitable for beginner to more advanced. And I cannot speak for anyone seeing this video later, but it is currently only $44. $44 to reprogram your mind, regulate your nervous system, and reshape your body. That is half of 1 hour with a personal trainer. And if you hired a personal trainer for 3 weeks, let's say 3 times a week, that's $900. And what I'm going to give you is more than what that personal trainer would give you in 3 weeks. The workout program has been reviewed by a personal trainer, as well as I include a Glow from Within nutrition guide, which is a whole food approach to balancing your hormones, eating food that helps you glow from the inside out, to have clear skin, to have a clear mindset. So if this sounds like a program for you, then click the link below or go to kattiemorrow.com/accelerator. If you're seeing this at another time, you'll most likely be able to purchase it down below or join a new cohort, but I cannot promise it will be the same price because it most likely will never be this low again. The point for this program is to help 25 women, because there is a cap, to transform their mind and body from the inside out. Because I know how hard it is when you're working out, you're trying to eat healthy, and you just feel stuck. You feel inflamed, you're fog-brained all day, and you're just so frustrated with yourself. I know how it feels. So I wanted to create this framework to help women overcome that through reprogramming their mind, regulating their nervous system, and reshaping their body. And we also have a private Facebook group where I'm going to help keep you accountable and help support you. The odds of you achieving success with support and accountability within a group increases dramatically. It is much higher, 65 to 95% higher than if you were to try to do this alone. So click the link below. I hope to see you inside, and I'm so excited for your transformation. If you're still on the fence to begin this transformation, it's okay. I also have a free Dream Body Reset that you could download below, where I help you get started on regulating your nervous system and following the proven diet that's going to balance your hormones and eliminate those annoying late night binge cravings. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and were able to get any value from it. If so, maybe send this to someone who you may think need help, who probably feels stuck on their fitness journey and is trying to do all the things, but the weight's just not budging. Maybe this is the solution for them. And if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos like this. I'll see you on the next one.